Hi, good evening from Tri-County Soccerplex in Cincinnati's Forest Park neighborhood. Welcome to the AmericaOneSports.com's coverage of the Professional Arena Soccer League. I'm Keith Kokinda. Glad you could join us here tonight for weekend number 2 in the PASL. And tonight the Cincinnati Saints hosting their second game in as many weeks, taking on the Chicago Mustangs tonight. Also the Eastern Division. Chicago moving over from the Central Division where they played their first season last year. 11-5, very impressive. Unfortunately, they were in the same division with Dallas and Rio Grande Valley, and they finished third behind those two clubs with an 11-5 record. The Mustangs returned roughly half of the players from last year's team. They are missing a couple of key components for last year. Their two leading scorers, Nestor Hernandez, who was fourth in the PASL with 38 goals last year, along with Omar Tapia, did not return this year. But the Mustangs are counting on some younger players this year, in particular to pick up some of the goal scoring. Efrain Martinez, and he came through in a big way last week as the Mustangs doubled up on Tulsa last weekend, 10-5 at home. Martinez bagging 3 goals for the Mustangs, so he'll be looking to pick up where Nestor Hernandez left off for the Mustangs last year. Also, Victor Sanchez and Miguel Vaca, one of the returnees this year, each got 2 goals, so 3 players scored 7 of the 10 goals for Chicago Mustangs last weekend. They will be starting Jesus Flores in goal tonight. He had to pass a late fitness test out here on the practice field about 15 minutes ago. He rolled an ankle in training yesterday, and he was unsure, but he's going to get the starting goal tonight. And watching him during the warmth, he looked like he was pretty mobile and didn't seem to have any movement issues at all. Now, Flores last year, one of the better goalkeepers in the PASL, and last week it's only 10 saves on just 15 shots by Tulsa Revolution. He had a relatively quiet night in terms of shots on goal. The Mustangs outshot the Revolution in that game by a count of 41-15. Cincinnati Saints, on the other hand, looking for back-to-back wins to open the season after winning 8-7 over Cleveland Freeze last week. A wild back-and-forth affair where the Saints were up at 1.7-4 after trailing 4-2 at halftime. Cleveland came back to equalize, only to see the Saints get the game-winning goal just 40 seconds after Cleveland had leveled the score. Gary Henderson, one of a couple players to get 2 goals on the night, got the game winner. And one of the things Matt Bryan has talked about in the postgame show is how what a wild game it was, and wanted to have get things a little more under control this week, much like we saw at the tail end of last year with the Kings. One of the differences, though, this year that's become obvious, even after just one game for the Saints this season, is much more balance in the scoring department. Last year, especially in the first half of the season, a little too reliant on 1 or 2 players. This year, though, a big difference. 6 different players scored those 8 goals for the Saints. Damian Blackburn, the other player, with 2 goals, along with Gary Henderson. Eddie Herzenberg, another power play goal, along with Kwame Sarkodie, Jared Dombrowski, Sam Fiore also scoring for the Saints last week. So that's going to be a big difference this year already. It's obvious. Although Damian Blackburn is going to be looked to do a lot of the scoring this year. Again, 27 goals in just 8 games last year in the Premier Division of the PASL, and the Saints' all-time leading goal scorer. But certainly he has a lot of help out there with him, especially in players such as Gary Henderson, Eddie Herzenberg, and Sam Fiore, even though Sam won't be, at least last week, wasn't striking balls out of the back like he did last year, moved up to more of a midfield position this season. There's 3 changes for the Saints tonight. First one is in goal. Chris Black will make his PASL professional debut after playing in the last year in the Premier Division for the Saints. He'll get his first shot at the higher level here. Also, the other changes, Sam Miller and Dan Greist are out tonight, making their debuts for this season. The Swede, Mark Hansen, as well as the Channel Islander, number 8, James Carey, making their first appearances for the Saints here in the professional division this year. Mark Hansen, much traveled throughout Europe at some of the lower levels, and the Seven Hills Crusaders came prepared for that tonight, as they have both a Swedish flag and a UK flag up to go with the American flag, although technically the Channel Islands are not officially a part of the United Kingdom, not one of the 4 home countries of England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. They are what's called a protectorate, which, roughly speaking, can be likened to the relationship of Puerto Rico to the United States as a commonwealth, independently self-governing, but still part of the United States, although not one of the 50 states. Probably the best analogy that I could find doing the research on that on the internet. Chicago Mustangs going by us here at our broadcast location at the top of Tri-County Soccerplex. Saints will be back on the road, making their first road trip of the season next weekend, next Saturday, 7:30 kickoff against the Cleveland Freeze up at the Soccer Sportsplex in North Olmsted in the western suburbs of Greater Cleveland. Sean Bartzak will have that one for you on AmericaOneSports.com and TalkShoe as well. So that'll be the first road test, and it'll be interesting not only to get the first road game of the season, but also against the team they just played against. Will be 2 weeks apart. Certainly the Cleveland Freeze proved last week. They have a pretty good team this year as well, taking over the spot of the Ohio Vortex. As you can see, teams have gotten onto the field. Chicago Mustangs will be in the red shirts, red shorts, and white socks. Cincinnati in the royal blue shirts, black shorts, and black socks tonight. And luckily for me, the numbers on the Chicago Mustang shorts are white, which makes it a whole lot easier to read than those teal or aqua numbers that were on Cleveland Freeze's shorts last weekend. Jesus Flores getting the start, coming out wearing the yellow shirt as he talks to co-coach Armando Gamboa. He and Freddie Ochoa are the coaches for the Mustangs, as they were last year. And the Saints will go from top to bottom here in the first quarter. At the far end, Chris Black stepping in wearing the orange shirt. And we're just about set to kick things off. Weekend number 2. Chicago, Cincinnati, and Illinois all stand atop the Eastern Division. All have won last weekend. Illinois winning 7-4 in their debut. They'll be here in just a couple of weeks. November 23rd, next home game for the Saints. The Illinois Piasaw coming to town just 2 weeks from now. And don't forget, all the information on the Cincinnati Saints is available on the official team website, CincinnatiSaints.com. You can also follow them, like them on Facebook at Facebook.com/Cincinnati Saints, as well as follow them on Twitter, Twitter.com/Cincy Saints. I'm Keith Kokinda, getting ready to kick things off here at Tri-County Soccerplex. Week 2 in the PASL. Again, both these teams won their home openers last weekend. Starting up front will be Victor Sanchez, number 7, and Efrain Martinez, number 10, joined by Miguel Vaca. And it'll be David Aranda, and right there, Omar Santillan playing in the back as the defense pair for the Mustangs. Saints countering out there with Jared Dabrowski, Gary Henderson, James Carey out there, or Jeff Henderson is out there as well in the back. And here's Damian Blackburn to make up the opening 5 for the Saints. Blackburn tried to get one off the boards, looking for Gary Henderson, didn't get to him. Continued the scrap in the corner, finally worked out there, and here comes Efrain Martinez. Nice ball over across to Miguel Vaca. Vaca around Jeff Henderson, but right into the chest of Chris Black. Good save early on for Black. Good positioning, too, staying tight on that short side post. Almost a minute in, Mustangs and Saints both going for line changes here. That was Luis Ortega and now Guilherme Veiga, the Brazilian defender, number 20 for the Mustangs. And he'll get it from Ortega. Here's Perisotto, Arone Perisotto, back for Veiga. Veiga, one of the holdovers from last year's Mustangs team. Perisotto going against Adam Ted Hudfeld. And all the way back to Jesus Flores at his own line. 13 and a half minutes to go in this opening quarter, Cincinnati and Chicago. Still awaiting the first goal, but it's early, and a hard challenge into the boards there. Chris Dabrowski commits the first foul of the match. Again, if you're new to the PASL, every sixth foul results in a 2-minute bench penalty against the offending team, so the first one goes against the Saints. Perisotto for Vega. Vega to the line, shot well wide. Ted Hunfeld there to cover up, getting in the way of Miguel Vaca, and he's able to lift it forward for Eddie Herzenberg. Chris Black getting some pressure on. He gets it free right up the Route 1 for Gary Henderson. Now here's Herzenberg trying to return it to Henderson. Henderson a little too heavy on that touch. And back to Perisotto, nicknamed Chico, which is on the back of his shirt. And the Saints regain possession right in the neutral zone. Scott Shue with it, and the Saints will slow it down as they complete a line change. Sam Fiore coming out along with Kwame Sarkodie right there. Very happy about his brother Kofi with Houston Dynamo in the MLS playoffs, getting to the final against New Jersey FC, as I like to call them. Damian Blackburn will wait the ball off the boards. Vega marking him, and back to Sarkodie, slowing it down. Sarkodie tried to set up Fiore posting up. Here's Scott Shue. Shue off the boards. It's a short angle, and Flores able to cover it up. And Sarkodie got a goal last week for the Saints. Now here's Martinez once again. Martinez ridden off the ball. Jeff Henderson takes it away. Here comes Scott Shue the other way for Cincinnati. Shue, not enough blue shirts forward, so slow it down and go for a change with 11:45 left in quarter number 1. Still goalless. Chris Black, again, his PASL Professional Division debut. Long ball up Route 1. Not going to get to Sam Fiore. Santillan tries the long-range shot, but Chris Black was there in plenty of time. Jeff Henderson for Damian Blackburn. Blackburn with some space. Ahead for Fiore. Shows in front of Santillan. Sarkodie making the run. Santillan holding his position well. Sarkodie had some space but never turned. Now gets away a shot and scores! Kwame Sarkodie opens the scoring. Sam Fiore gets the assist. .450 is the time of the goal. Kwame Sarkodie gets it going again for the Saints. The second goal in as many games. Fiore picking up his first assist of the season, and the Saints are up early this time, 1-0. Quick ball ahead by Santillan, looking for Martinez, a little too strong, and Black is able to send it all the way back into the Chicago end. And Sarkodie is second from Fiore at .450. And the Saints up 1-0. 10:45 left in the first quarter. Good play by Ted Hunfeld to win that ball. Ahead for Jared Dabrowski, or for Gary Henderson. Now Dabrowski across the way for Chris Dabrowski. And the Saints will slow it down as they finish a line change here with Scott Shue coming on. Here's Herzenberg on the right side as you're watching on your computer screen. Back to Black, and he'll send it long for Gary Henderson. Sanchez on him. Shue there to help out. Ball bounces free. Shue gets some space, but Santillan got the left Shue in the way to block it. And a nice turn and touch there by Miguel Vaca sends Efrain Martinez on his way. Back to Vaca. Run off the ball nicely. Vaca gets the shot away, blocked by Shue, but a good play by Michael Diley defensively retreating. Something he did very, very well at the University of Dayton. Now both teams will make changes with 9:45 left in the first quarter. Saints up 1-0. Sarkodie the goal scorer. You can tell already this game for the Saints especially, a lot sharper play. Not as wild and wacky as last week, and that's something that Matt Brynes had talked about in the postgame, is wanting to get things tightened up a little bit. And so far here in the opening 5 minutes, they've done just that. Here's Vega. Thought about one shot, now makes a pass in deep. Ball bounces free. Perisotto couldn't get a touch on it. Fiore comes away with it. Fiore sends Sarkodie breaking. Looking for support in the center where Gary Henderson is. Sarkody! Kwame Sarkody does it again, and once again it's Sam Fiore providing the assist. 2-0 Saints. Goal comes at 5:59, and Chicago not liking how this is going, so Armando Gamboa and Freddie Ochoa take a timeout. So once again, Sarkody, his third of the season, and Fiore getting the assist at 5:59. The Saints now up 2-0. This is definitely much more in line with the way that Matt Bryant wants this team to play here in this opening 6 minutes. It's much more organized, much more disciplined, and the counterattack there was exquisite. So Chicago, which ran out comfortable 10-5 winners against Tulsa last weekend, they were up 10-2 at one point before Tulsa got a few goals for consolation at the end. They're in for a different sort of fight here tonight. Although those who played with the Kings last year remember the Kings were up on this Chicago team when they played here last year in their only game, at one point up 5-2 before the Mustangs were able to rally for a 6-5 win. And that ball will go up into the net, and the restart will belong to the Saints in that right corner, right as you're watching, and right from the defensive point of view of the Mustangs, left from the Saints' point of view. It'll be Eddie Herzenberg there. Damian Blackburn playing behind him. Instead, all the way out there into the center of the park. Now here's Blackburn, Herzenberg, and Blackburn trying to work the 1-2. Sanchez intercepts that. Martinez gets taken down. We play on now the foul call. That's going to be a 2-minute penalty. I believe they'll get Blackburn for the trip there. So it'll be the first power play of the night. Saints special teams were perfect last week, 2 for 2 with the man advantage, and killed off the only penalty they faced. Penalty coming at 6:26. So man advantage here for the Chicago Mustangs for the first time tonight. That's Parisoto. Martinez. This is Luis Ortega. Martinez lets it fly. It's blocked in front. Jeff Henderson, the wall, getting in the way. And the Saints will clear, sending Sarkody sprinting forward. 1v2 in the corner. He'd love to hold it there and kill some time. Instead, Ortega is able to win the ball. Ortega, Vaca, Parisoto, Martinez, and Vega out there for the Mustangs. It's Herzenberg. Jeff Henderson is the shot by Ortega. Goes well over the top. Herzenberg, Jeff Henderson, Chris Dabrowski, and Michael Diley out there killing this penalty. Chris Black with the throw-in. Goal kicks are taking his throw-ins instead. Herzenberg putting on some pressure on Ortega. Now he'll withdraw. Penalty half over now. Miguel Vaca with Herzenberg on him. Lets it fly a short shot on the short side is wide. Ortega there to hold in the Cincinnati zone. Vaca again as the Saints play a diamond defense. Great view from you can see from up here at the end. Martinez pressured there by Jeff Henderson, forced to switch it over to the other side for Parisoto. And another sliding block there by Jeff Henderson. Shot comes through and Chris Black able to scoop it up. And Ortega gets in the way of the pass looking for Herzenberg. Parisoto. And now Vaca. Vaca who was blocked on that sliding block there by Jeff Henderson. Vaca again shot partially blocked by Herzenberg, and Black able to cover up this spinning ball. Sarkody comes on, and the throw by Black hit the netting up top. So that will come back to the Cincinnati line for the restart. 13 seconds left in the man advantage. And Saints up 2-0, 2 goals. Kwame Sarkodie from Sam Fiore. And a corner shot goes over the top and all the way across to the other side where Luis Ortega collects it. Now Miguel Vaca. Vaca goes down low and Chris Black steps in the way nicely, cutting it off. And now he'll send Sarkodie running as Blackburn returns to the field. There's Guilherme Vega down there, denied by Chris Black. And it's Vega who's able to dispossess Sarkodie and get the ball back to Paris Soto. Both teams trying to finish line changes after that power play with 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Cincinnati Saints up 2-0. Glad you could join us here on AmericaOneSports.com, the official internet broadcast partner of the Professional Arena Soccer League. I'm Keith Kokinda. First road game for the Mustangs. Second home game for the Saints. They play 5 of their first 7 games here at Tri-County Soccerplex. Miguel Vaca trying to make a run. Damian Blackburn cuts him off. Sends it across the way for Santillan. Omar Santillan trying to run the great circle route. They flick it on to David Aranda. Aranda leaves it for Brian Velasquez. Velasquez made a big number change. Last year he was 59 for the Mustangs. Now he's back down to 13. Obviously not Triska Decafobiak. Santillan with 5:15 left in the first. Finds Adrian Ortiz. Ortiz gets the return ball. Let's fly a long shot, but Chris Black easily scoops that one up. Saints will finish it, make a change here with 5 minutes left in this first quarter. Gary Henderson making a run forward. Instead, Black will go to the opposite corner, but Ortiz gets in the way. Leaves it for Aranda. Aranda with Velasquez to his left. Velasquez lets it fly off the short side boards. Ortega coming off the bench tries to get it back to Velasquez, who missed. Henderson tries to cut him off. The ball off the boards there is finally cleared away there by Jared Dombrowski. Team's making changes once again. 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 2-0 Cincinnati over Chicago. Mustangs in the red shirt, red shorts, white socks. Cincinnati Saints blue shirt, black shorts, black shorts, and black socks. Uniforms sponsored by Admiral, the official uniform supplier for the Cincinnati Saints. Blackburn had that penalty earlier. On the ball now in front of his own bench. Looking for Gary Henderson. 2 goals last week and an assist against Cleveland. Blackburn with a nice move around the boards to get around his mark. Shot off the short side boards. Flores comes well off his line to take away his angle. And that ball goes off the ceiling netting. It'll come to the Chicago line for a restart. 3:50 to go in the first quarter. Cincinnati already up 2-0. Looking for a chance here to make it 3. A few players offering some R-rated comments about the officiating decision there. We apologize if we picked those up. Flores with a good save to deny Sarkodie the natural hat trick there. And coming the other way is Luis Ortega. A long ball ahead for Victor Sanchez behind the defense. He's got Martinez on his back post, and he scored. Did Martinez tip that in? Either way, it's a goal for Chicago. It looked like Martinez got the last touch. We'll say that it was. So Chicago Mustangs get on the board as Martinez gets his 4th goal of the year. A good run by Sanchez coming out of the back after he received the pass. Goal coming at 11:13. So Efrain Martinez picks up where he left off last week. Again, he had 3 against Tulsa in the opener last Saturday, and now he has his 4th here in the first quarter of this game. Fiore tries to leave it for Herzenberg. Not a good first touch. Parasoto sending Sanchez away. He goes down, courtesy of Adam Ted Hoodfeld, but the officials say we play on. Ball ahead for Fiore. Taken off the ball by Guilherme Vega, the Brazilian, quickly the other way. Ahead of him is Velasquez. Instead to the left side for Victor Sanchez, who is taken down unceremoniously by Chris Black. And the foul whistled up. Unofficially, 2nd foul on the Saints. They also had the 2-minute penalty. A dangerous restart chance here for the Chicago Mustangs. It looks like Miguel Vaca will be taking this, one of the holdovers from last year's team. Vaca, 18 goals and 11 assists last year for the Mustangs in just 11 games. 3:04 left in this first quarter. Saints up 2-1. Mustangs looking to equalize here. Stepping back from this is Parasoto. Vaca will have a go. Sent to the back post. It's redirected in. 2-2. And it's Brian Velasquez who gets the goal. So Velasquez from Vaca at 11:57. And Chicago Mustangs, 2 goals in the space of 44 seconds, are back on level terms. Gorgeous restart. Nobody on that back post to take care of Velasquez, and he made a great finish. A good tackle there by Sarkoti to dispossess Martinez, but now the foul is whistled up as the second player coming in clipped Martinez, although it looks like Chris Dabrowski there got the worst of that collision, even though the foul's on him. Or no, that's Jeff Henderson, excuse me. Third foul unofficially on Cincinnati. So they're halfway to that first 6-foul penalty. Actually, they called the foul on Martinez there, so that's the first foul against Chicago. Still unofficially 2 on the Saints with 2:44 left in the first quarter. And Chicago committed 14 fouls last week, so that's a couple of penalties they incurred for that. Gary Henderson, not a good touch there, trying to knock it down for Scott Shue, and coming the other way of the Mustangs. Gary Henderson, a good recovery run, trying to deny both Ortiz and Martinez, but finally Ortiz comes away with it. Martinez shoots, beat Black, but hit it off the short side post. The Mustangs really, whatever Armando Gamboa and Freddie Ochoa told them during the timeout, they need to bottle it and sell it. It's worked quite well. The Mustang with 2 goals in the space of 44 seconds. There's a long-range shot from David Aranda, but Chris Black able to see that one easily with 2:20 left. Here's Michael Diley. And the Saints will have finished. They're finishing up their line change right now as Black brings it forward into his left corner, looking for Eddie Herzenberg. Instead, it goes off the netting above the boards, and the Mustangs get it back, and both teams will make changes with 2:04 to go here in quarter number 1. 2-2 our score. Saints got the first 2 goals in the first 6 minutes, with Chicago with back-to-back goals in the space of 44 seconds have leveled this match. Here, Jared Dombrowski, a ball ahead for Sam Fiore. Dombrowski making the run up the boards. Instead, Fiore will go back into the center of the pitch. Now he'll try to work a 1-2 with Dombrowski. Didn't come off his plan. Herzenberg there trying to hold it in against Parasoto. Parasoto gets it back to Flores a little dangerously. Stepping in the way there to put the ball over the boards, however, was Jared Dombrowski. Right idea there, just a little bit of a mishit. Minute 20 to go in the first quarter. Rune Parasoto. Ball ahead for Velasquez and back to Parasoto. And now Guilherme Veiga. Veiga, the Brazilian, watched there by Fiore. Back across to Parasoto, and the Mustangs slowing it down as we're in the final minute of the first quarter. Parasoto, long shot to the top of the box, headed clear by Jared Dombrowski. Veiga with it at the halfway line. 45 seconds left. Ahead to the corner for Ortega. Ortega gets through 2 players. And back to Veiga with 35 seconds left. Fiore still on him. Veiga trying to make the turn. Fiore blocks that shot. Veiga gets it back. And he'll have to regroup and send it all the way back to Jesus Flores at his own line. Down to 20 seconds left in this first quarter. 2-2 our score. Cincinnati and Chicago in this PASL Eastern Division matchup. Santillan and Parasoto now the defense pair for the Mustangs in this last 10 seconds. Ortega tried to get away. A shot was blocked. And Eddie Herzenberg took a knock there. But he looks to be running okay now. 5 and 7/10 seconds left. Hit and hope is the option here. Jared Dabrowski lifting it long. Parasoto there first for the Mustangs. And Sanchez will run it out. So 2-2 is our score after one. Scoring summary is brought to you by Hoist, the official sports beverage of the Cincinnati Saints. Follow them on Twitter at DrinkHoist. And the Saints opened the scoring tonight. Kwame Sarkodie got both goals, both of them assisted by Sam Fiore. The first one at 4:50 and the second one at 5:59. And the Saints looked they had things under control, but a timeout after that second goal. And the Mustangs came storming back. They got 2 goals in the space of 44 seconds. Efrain Martinez getting his 4th on an assist from Victor Sanchez, and a beautiful restart. Miguel Vaca set up Brian Velasquez at the far post. That was at 11:57, and that's where we stand, 2-2 after quarter number 1. Now all of the information about the Professional Arena Soccer League is available on the league's official website, PASLsoccer.com. All the teams' results, standings, schedules, stats, and links to the live game webcast, all available at PASLsoccer.com. Don't forget to like the PASL on Facebook, Facebook.com/PASL Soccer, as well as follow the PASL on Twitter, Twitter.com/PASL Soccer. I'm Keith Kokinda. Glad you could join us here tonight on AmericaOneSports.com, the official internet broadcast partner of the PASL. And they'll have next week's Saints game as well up in Cleveland. Sean Bartzak with the play-by-play on that as the Saints play their first road game of the season against the Cleveland Freeze, the team they beat here at Tri-County Soccerplex just 7 days ago. And the game will be at the Soccer Sportsplex in North Olmsted, the western edge of Cuyahoga County, right off Interstate 480 for those of you making the trip. So the Saints will be going from bottom to top here in this second quarter, and one of Chris Black's friends giving him a little grief here as he comes into his goal for the start of the second quarter. That's one of the unique things about the PASL. You're playing against in front of a lot of people who know you personally because you're in that town. You live there. You played high school there. You played college there. You coach a club there. A lot of these guys fall into that category, not just with the Saints, but across the Professional Arena Soccer League. And away we go in quarter number 2. Damian Blackburn switches looking for Jeff Henderson. Efrain Martinez gotten away. Now Gary Henderson battles with David Aranda in the corner. Jesus Flores comes out to kick it out, but he kicked it into the netting above the field, so that ball will come back to the center of the Chicago line for a restart, and that'll bring out Eddie Herzenberg and Sam Fiore, who will move to the left side of the field as you're watching. Damian Blackburn there to take this restart. Kwame Sarkodie to his right. Gary Henderson in the right corner. They'll set up Herzenberg! Oh, it took just 18 seconds, but the Saints are back in front. Eddie Herzenberg. Eddie Herzenberg gets the goal. That's his second, first even-strength goal he scored this season. And Damian Blackburn now has 2 assists, tying in with Herzenberg and Scott Shue for the team lead early in the season, admittedly. But a great response and a great way to start the second quarter for the Saints after conceding 2 goals in the space of 44 seconds late in the quarter. They fire right back in, give Chicago a dose of their own medicine on the restart. Here's Efrain Martinez, looks to turn. Pass for Santillan's. Fiore got in the way of that one. Setting up here is Victor Sanchez. And now David Aranda over for Santillan. Martinez leaves it for Sanchez in the corner. Herzenberg takes him down. No call. The Chicago Mustangs not unhappy with some of the officiating here today. They've seen a couple decisions they thought should have gone their way but didn't. 13:45 to go. Quarter number 2. Saints up 3-2. Eddie Herzenberg with the go-ahead goal for Cincinnati. Here's Vega for Parisoto. And now Miguel Vaca, who set up that second Mustangs goal, gets the ball in the corner. Ted Hunfeld on him. Adam Ted Hunfeld in a fight with Vaca. Vaca comes free. Shot goes over the glass. And it'll be a throw-in for Chris Black with 13:18 to go. Another good crowd on hand tonight here at Tri-County Soccerplex. Again, Saints back at it 2 weeks from tonight here at Tri-County, taking on Illinois Piasaw, 7:30 kickoff. For tickets and all the team information, visit the Saints official website, www.cincinnatisaints.com. Now a ball comes free for Ortega, feeds across the top of the box, but nobody was there. And finally Velasquez works his way free in the corner, and he might have gotten away with a little push-off there, and I think the Chicago fans will say that's a little bit of a Revlon. Shot saved by Chris Black, and then Dabrowski gets in the way, and then a tangle in the corner results in a foul against Cincinnati, unofficially their third. So a restart in the corner for Chicago here with 12:44 left. Looks like Ortega will set up to take this one. Ortega tries the direct route. It hit either Black or Jeff Henderson, not sure which. Either way, the restart comes out to the Cincinnati line. And once again, it'll be Luis Ortega to trigger it. Ortiz and Velasquez down low. Vega. Ortiz. Ortiz has to retreat as Henderson got in his way. And his pass is cleared away by Gary Henderson all the way back to Jesus Flores. Now here's Parisoto. Santia coming off the bench on a line change. Instead, Parisoto will go for Ortiz in the right corner. Jeff Henderson on him. Henderson with a couple of good block shots in that first quarter. Henderson able to win the ball from Ortiz and clear with 12 minutes left in this second quarter. Saints up 3-2 over the Chicago Mustangs. Ortiz. Henderson bumps off. Now a shot well over the top by Brian Velasquez. And both teams will make changes here. So Chris Black here to throw it in again, making his PASL professional debut. Sarkody in the back. The pressure being put on by the Saints here, but Shu and Sarkody and Black able to get it out, and ahead for Sam Fiore. Herzenberg makes a run from him to his right. Fiore loading up that left foot. Holds onto it, being pressured. Tries to go off the boards to Herzenberg. Getting in the way there, though, was Brian Velasquez. And now coming back for his first shift on defense, Joseo Sandoval, number 89. Quick switch over here to Efrain Martinez. Miguel Vaca to his left. He'll go to the other side. Shot well wide and high by Omar Santillan. Martinez holds into Cincinnati's own, gets grabbed by Sarkody, but we play on as Martinez had the left arm up as well. Vaca wins the ball for Martinez. Vaca makes the run to the left, and he scores on the short side to equalize. So Vaca and Martinez exchange roles there. Vaca the goal scorer, Martinez the assist at 4:02 to level the match once again. Well, Vaca getting his third goal of the season. And again, last week it was Vaca, Sanchez, and Martinez who scored 7 of the 10 goals for the Mustangs. So far, except for Velasquez's goal, that pattern is pretty much holding true. Sarkody being pressured, gets it into Adam Ted Hunfeld. His pass is blocked by Vega. Mustangs try to send it forward quickly, but the pass by Luis Ortega goes over the glass. 10:48 left. Mustangs backing off a little bit. There are 2 forward players there. Vaca and Velasquez not putting on the pressure they were before. Adam Ted Hunfeld tripped up in the foul called, unofficially 2 on Chicago. Ted Hoodfeld set up the power play goal by Eddie Herzenberg last week against Cleveland. Sarkody, Blackburn. Blackburn's pass is intercepted there by Velasquez, but Sarkody steps in the way of his pass. Blackburn taken off the ball by Vega, but Sarkody gets it back and gets it forward and then takes the return ball, trying to set up a play for Jared Dombrowski moving forward. Dombrowski finally comes away with it, taken off the ball there by Adrian Ortiz, who gets it free for Luis Ortega. Ortega up the boards for Brian Velasquez. The two number 13s go ahead as Chris Dombrowski is there defensively. And a goal for the Mustangs. It's Ortiz to put them in front for the first time. Well, the Chicago fans have made the trip, as you can tell, quite happy as the Mustangs get 2 goals in the space of 59 seconds. Velasquez, his second of the game. Ortiz gets the assist, and Matt Brynas wants a timeout, and a smart one, I'd say. Again, next time you're out here at Tri-County Soccerplex, 2 weeks from tonight to be exact, when the Saints host the Illinois Piasa. Don't forget before the game to visit the Saints merchandise room at the Jogo Football Shop. Get your Saints shirts, jackets, replica jerseys, and of course the scarf that every Saints fan needs. I'm Keith Kokinda. Glad you could join us here on AmericaOneSports.com. It's Professional Arena Soccer League Eastern Division matchup. Chicago Mustangs leading the Cincinnati Saints here 4-3 in a back-and-forth affair here at Tri-County Soccerplex. Both teams won their openers at home last weekend. And this is going to be a real fight all the way through. Another good one here at Tri-County Soccerplex, just as we had last weekend. As the Mustangs have changed the tactics a little bit here, putting a little more pressure on the Saints in their defensive third. It's paid off. It paid off on that last play as the Mustangs got the goal that put them in front for their first lead of the night. And that's twice now the Mustangs have scored goals within less than a minute of each other. The first quarter they got the 2 in 44 seconds. This time 2 in 59 seconds. Again, they brought back about half the players from last year's team that went 11-5, but they got a little bit younger, a little bit faster. And it's showing so far tonight. Fiore kicking it off for Jeff Henderson. Henderson has been solid as always in the back, but that pass a little bit errant. Here's Efrain Martinez with a goal and an assist tonight. Set up the equalizer. 9:40 left in the first quarter. Mustangs content to slow it down a little bit. Here's Sanchez. Scott Shue on him. And Sanchez will flick it back to Omar Santillan. Santillan thought about chipping into the boxes. Martinez made his run, being marked there by Michael Diley. Instead, he'll play it to his defense partner, Miguel Vaca. Henderson playing up front here on Vaca. Shue watching Sanchez. Herzenberg on our Aranda. Is doing a little role reversal here from defense to forward. Scott Shue gets that ball off the official there. Fiore, nice little flick on for Shue. He's got Herzenberg in the middle to his right, Diley on the far side. He'll go to the far side for Diley, but Martinez there to intercept the pass. A good recovery run by Efrain Martinez, who now has some space going forward, and Henderson with another block, unofficially his third. And the ball cleared all the way back into Chicago's end for Jesus Flores. 8:45 to go in the first half. Mustangs up 4-3. And they're completing a line change here, so they slow it down as Parisoto plays it back for Flores. Again, Flores rolled an ankle in training yesterday, but he passed his late fitness test, and so far, no signs of any ill effects. Parisoto looking to play the ball diagonally, and he does so for Brian Velasquez. Trying to work free off the double team. Fiore tried to dispossess him, couldn't do it, but he does force Velasquez to retreat all the way back to Parisoto in his own half. Fiore intercepts that pass, but right back to Parisoto once again with 8:05 to go in the second quarter. Guilherme Vega, the Brazilian, watched by Fiore. Vega back to Parisoto. Herzenberg steps up on him. Now back to Flores. Parisoto plays it a cross ball in the corner. Ball off the boards, goes right to Chris Black, and he covers it up ahead of Brian Velasquez with 7:35 left in the second quarter. Saints trailing 4-3. Fiore nearly taken out the ball by Ortega, and finally it comes free. Ortega with it now. Ortega trying to get by Shu. Has to turn. Back to Parisoto just outside the Cincinnati line. And now he's going to retreat all the way back into his own half of the field and all the way to his goalkeeper, Flores, as the Mustangs are making a change here with 7:10 to go in the first half. Efrain Martinez making a run. Vega thought about the shot. Henderson stepped in the way. Here's Victor Sanchez. Now here's Luis Ortega to the back post for Martinez, and Martinez with an easy finish. And a great somersault there. Ortega gets the assist. Efrain Martinez, his second goal of the night, his fifth in 2 games, and the Mustangs take a 2-goal lead for the first time in this game, 5-3. 8:03 the time of that goal. Ortega with his first assist of the season. Blackburn for Sarkozy. Blackburn's been pretty quiet tonight. He was quiet a lot in the first half of last week's game, too, and he finally got the goal late on. Here's Chris Dabrowski into the corner looking for the return ball from Gary Henderson. Instead, back to Sarkozy. Kwame Sarkozy. Adam Ted Hoodfeld gets the ball off the boards. Finds Gary Henderson to the top of the box. Blackburn got the shot away, but spun it wide. Mustangs just content to clear their zone all the way back to Sarkozy in his own half of the field. And a player down for Chicago as Sarkozy juggles the ball to get the officials' attention to stop play, and they finally do with 6:24 left. Guilherme Hernandez is out there for his first shift tonight, playing against Sarkozy in the back there as the Mustangs slow it down their own half of the field. 6:10 left in the second quarter. Mustangs up 5-3 over the Cincinnati Saints. Jared Dombrowski gets their shot, and a right arm save by Chris Black, and a shot I don't think he ever even saw. What a great save. Best save of the night by far for Black. Off the corner kick, shot off the post and the crossbar simultaneously right in that corner. Miguel Vaca off the board. Sanchez had it right in front with an open net and couldn't get the right touch on Sarkozy. Clears it into the Saints bench, which will bring it back to the top of the arc, but that's a lot better than it could have been had Sanchez been able to see that ball in time and get the touch he needed. 5:53 left. Restart opportunity here. Santillan. Miguel Vaca off to the side. Instead, they'll go the other way for Sanchez, and Damian Blackburn steps in the way, hits the counterattack. Gary Henderson in the center. Pass for Henderson a little bit too strong. He'll track it down in the corner. Henderson fighting there with Miguel Vaca in the corner. Efrain Hernandez Martinez gets in there too. Ball finally comes free. Sarkozy able to hold it in the Chicago zone. Kwame Sarkozy with 2 of the 3 Cincinnati goals tonight finds Gary Henderson. Henderson in the tangle at the top of the arc. Still able to keep possession though and find Jared Dombrowski. And now back to Chris Dabrowski. Sarkozy and Blackburn can't bring off the 1-2. Instead, it's Victor Sanchez with it for Chicago. Sanchez for Martinez. Chris Dabrowski got in the way of that ball, but the Mustangs get it back. Sanchez once again. Martinez making a run ahead of him. Instead, he'll go square ball to Santillan with 4:55 left. And both teams now are going to go for line changes here. Ball ahead. Coming off the bench to intercept that is Michael Diley. Good play by Diley coming off the bench on the line change. Now Herzenberg. Across the way for Diley. And now here's Chris Dabrowski. Saints finish their change. Herzenberg, Fiore ahead of him. Fiore, Jeff Henderson back there in support and gives it to him with 4:25 left in the first half. Chicago Mustangs up 5-3 over Cincinnati Saints. Shot off the face there of Luis Ortega, but the Saints maintain possession. Diley for Henderson, the defense partnership right now for the Saints. Here's Eddie Herzenberg with a goal tonight. Fiore gives it back to Herzenberg. Fiore set up both of Sarkody's goals in that first quarter. Nice run off the ball by Herzenberg to get the pass to Scott Shue, and a foul called against Chicago. Herzenberg flipped the ball back at the Chicago player who fouled him, and a good thing for him, the referee didn't see that. 3:56 left. Unofficially third foul against Chicago. Arune Parasoto committed the foul. Blackburn to trigger this restart. Into the box and punched away by Omar Santillan. Now Fiore tries to leave it for Herzenberg. Instead, he overran it, but Sarkody is there for the Saints. Blackburn who set up the goal by Eddie Herzenberg. And Herzenberg will go all the way back to Chris Black at his own line. 3.5 minutes to go in this second quarter. Sarkody, Adam Ted Hoodfeld off the bench on a line change. Now Chris Dabrowski. Dabrowski ahead for Damian Blackburn. Back for Dabrowski, has to get there in a hurry, trying to fight off the challenge from Adrian Ortiz. Now Blackburn on the boards in front of the Saints bench, but the Mustangs able to come away with it. Now Fiore gets into the fight as well. Dabrowski tries to get it free, and finally comes to Sarkody in the center circle. 3 minutes left in the first half. Fiore from Chris Dabrowski. Handball wanted, but we play on. And finally the ball goes to Jesus Flores as a couple of players go down in a heap. Arune Parasoto, nicknamed Chico, bring it forward. 2:40 to go in the first half. Here is Guilherme Vega. Back to Parasoto. Sam Fiore stepping forward. Mustangs slowing it down as they go for a change here with 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Omar Santillan. Sarkody on him. Ortega trying to move around Ted Hoodfeld at the top of the box. Now he'll come outside as the ball goes across to David Aranda and back to Flores. 2:15 to go. Mustangs up 5-3. They've scored 3 unanswered here in this second quarter after the Saints scored just 18 seconds in to take the lead back at 3-2. Efrain Martinez with 2 goals tonight. Santillan can't handle the pass. Sarkody in a battle on the boards with Miguel Vaca, and finally Saints win it and get it all the way back to Chris Black. 1:50 to go. Saints will make a line change here. Black being pressured. Gets it to Jared Dabrowski, and now Chris Dabrowski. Dabrowski on the overlapping run. Plays a square ball to the top of the box looking for Blackburn, but Santillan got there first, and a good ball ahead for Efrain Martinez. Jeff Henderson gets there and able to dispossess him and win the ball for Dabrowski. Now Blackburn with 1:25 to go. Here's Michael Diley. And now Eddie Herzenberg. Jeff Henderson overlapping forward. Damian Blackburn moving to Herzenberg's right instead. Back to Chris Black. Black's been pretty solid. Couldn't do much about a couple of the goals, that's for certain. Black ahead for Herzenberg. Herzenberg, Blackburn, quick shot, a great leaping left-hand save by Jesus Flores. Check, that was Jared Dabrowski with the quick turn shot. What a shot that was. Spectacular save by Flores, by far his best of the night. Down to 53 seconds in this first half. Here's Jeff Henderson for Sarkody with some space. Sarkody's shot blocked off the shin of Victor Sanchez into the netting. Ball will be placed at the Chicago line. 46.5 seconds left. Damian Blackburn to trigger this. He set up Eddie Herzenberg on the same play here just 18 seconds into this quarter. Sarkody to his right, Herzenberg to his left. Goes the direct route, wide. Herzenberg trying to pressure Santillan down there in the corner. Blackburn blocked the ball, but the Mustangs get it forward. Good defensive play by Sarkody to cut off Victor Sanchez along the boards, but now here come the Mustangs with a chance. Also great passing work by the Mustangs, but they finally get the finishing goal from Sanchez. Velasquez gets the assist, and suddenly the Mustangs now up by 4, or by 3. .14:48, the time of the goal. Victor Sanchez getting his third of the season, first of the night. So 4 unanswered goals here for the Chicago Mustangs have put them up 6-3. As we're in the last 22 seconds of this second quarter, and that brings us to the mandatory officials break here, which comes after the clock has gone under 8 minutes to go in the quarter. Again, all information about the Cincinnati Saints is available on the team's official website, www.cincinnatisaints.com. Schedule, ticket information, merchandise, stats, and, of course, links to our live webcast, all available on cincinnatisaints.com. Also, like the Saints on Facebook, facebook.com/Cincinnati Saints, and also follow the team on Twitter as well, twitter.com/Cincy Saints, or at Cincy Saints, for those of you who are members of the Twitterverse, as am I. Also, on Twitter, you can follow the Supporters Club, the Seven Hills Crusaders, at Seven Hills Crusaders. Hills Crusader, it's number 7, and Hills Crusaders spelled out all in capital letters. They haven't had a whole lot to cheer about there in this second quarter. The Saints went up just at 3-2, just 18 seconds into the second quarter. Eddie Herzenberg from Damian Blackburn. Since then, the Mustangs have rattled off 4 goals. They got 2 in the space of a minute. And they've now scored here again, just 22 seconds left in the quarter. Some wonderful passing. Finally getting the finishing chance there was Sanchez, who put it away easily. Sarkody trying to win the ball back. Instead, the ball goes out for a restart. 9 9/10 seconds left. Maybe one more chance for the Mustangs. Luis Ortega to trigger this restart. To his left in the right corner is Brian Velasquez. Instead, the Mustangs will be content, looks like, to play it out. Guilherme Vega checking the clock. Now he's going to let it go from long range. Ortiz was looking for the redirection, and then Velasquez, a last-second shot, wouldn't have counted, I don't think. So the Chicago Mustangs, after a bit of a slow start, rattle off 4 unanswered goals here in the third quarter, or in the second quarter, and they lead the Cincinnati Saints by a score of 6-3 in this PASL Eastern Division matchup. We'll take a break and be back with the second half after this. You're watching the Professional Arena Soccer League on AmericaOneSports.com. Blackburn off a restart to make it 3-2, but the Mustangs rattled off 4 consecutive goals, including 2 in 59 seconds by Miguel Vaca and Brian Velasquez. Velasquez as well as Efrain Martinez, each with 2 goals for the Mustangs, who are in the red shirts, red shorts, and white socks. Cincinnati, blue shirts, black shorts, black socks. Again, don't forget the Saints YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cincinnati Saints, with weekly previews as well as the post-game interviews with players and Coach Matt Brynas. Angela Bazzoli is your host for that on the Saints official YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cincinnati Saints. As we get this third quarter going, Cincinnati needing to rally, play a little bit defensively, and try to keep up with this very quick Chicago Mustangs team. Fiore clears the ball out of the back, but he puts it right over the boards and in the defensive zone. Any clearance over the boards results in a restart at the top of the arc. So just 30 seconds into this third quarter, a restart opportunity for the Chicago Mustangs, and Omar Santillan there, number 11, asking for some space. Instead, it'll be Efrain Martinez with a shot, and I believe Jeff Henderson got in the way of that one again. Unofficially his 4th. All the way back to Jesus Flores with Sarkody up there putting on some pressure, and it results in an error pass that Sam Fiore got to, but instead it's Victor Sanchez the other way. Victor Sanchez, who got the last Mustangs goal going into the corner, trying to get by Damian Blackburn. Blackburn got a touch in there. Chris Black blocked the shot off the boards away, and Eddie Herzenberg goes down with a tangle with Johio Sandoval. And the foul whistled up against Sandoval. Saints going from top to bottom on your computer screen here in the third quarter. Unofficially, fourth foul on Chicago. Here's Efrain Martinez with a steal. Sandoval finding Sanchez, and now Hernandez. Martinez looking for a return ball. Sanchez shot well wide, and a save off the rebound. Sandoval redirected it on Black, and he got the left arm up to steer it away. Given away again in the neutral zone. Here's Guilherme Veiga, the Brazilian, settling it down, giving it back to Luis Ortega as the Mustangs complete a line change, as do the Saints with 13.5 to go in this third quarter. 1-2 between Ortiz and Velasquez, sends Velasquez away. Pass into the box, cleared out of there by Michael Diley, all the way back into Chicago's half of the field where Veiga takes over. Veiga ahead for Brian Velasquez. Out wide for Ortiz. Adrian Ortiz doubled up there, looking for some support. Gets it there from Arune Parasoto. Across for Veiga. Veiga looking for some room. Instead gets it to Ortiz. And all the way back to Parasoto. And content to play it back to his own line for his goalkeeper, Jesus Flores, who didn't have a whole lot to do in that second quarter, especially after the first and the last 10 minutes of it. Herzenberg putting on some pressure. Flores with a ball into the corner, looking for Ortega. Ridden off there by Dabrowski. Dabrowski still trying to dig it free, as is Michael Diley. Now Velasquez joining the fray as well. Finally, Velasquez works it free. Scramble in the box, and as Ortiz tried to score, couldn't get a touch. Chris Black able to get it and send it forward for Gary Henderson. Henderson knocks it down, and he scores off the post! Chris Black will get the assist, and Gary Henderson stops the run of 4 straight goals. Oh, what a wonderful outlet pass by Chris Black to find Gary Henderson. And Gary Henderson comes up with his third goal of the year at 2:49. So the Saints are within 2 now. Flores pressured. Fiore gets in the way of the pass for Blackburn. Here's a shot by Sarkoti, well wide. Into the corner. Henderson plays it back out to Sam Fiore, and now for Jeff Henderson. Here comes Damian Blackburn, tries to feather a pass for Gary Henderson, but David Aranda is there instead. Flores comes out of his box to clear a ball off the boards as Miguel Vaca goes down, fouled there by Gary Henderson. Unofficially 4 fouls, I believe, on Cincinnati. Yes, 4 fouls. That's the 4th foul on the Saints. Again, every 6th foul results in a 2-minute minor penalty. 11:38 to go in this third quarter. Saints have cut the Mustangs' lead down to 2 at 6-4. Gary Henderson getting the last goal. Shot by Aranda, well through the box. Miguel Vaca gets there first, though, and plays it back to Omar Santillan in his own half of the field. Santillan's pass up the boards for Victor Sanchez. Gets taken off the ball by Herzenberg. And now Fiore gets the ball from Black, and now ahead for Damian Blackburn. Blackburn, the all-time leading scorer for the Saints, 29 goals in just 7 games last year as the Saints won the PASL Premier's Midwest Division. 7 wins and a draw in those 8 games. Mustangs putting out a lot of pressure right at the Cincinnati line. Diley's able to get it back to Chris Black, and now forward for Blackburn, who finds Diley with some open space up his left side. Herzenberg playing at the top of the box. Herzenberg was the intended target of that pass, but Omar Santillan got there first, as Herzenberg couldn't show in front of his marker there. Saints now go for a change here with 10:40 to go in the third quarter. Fiore slows it down, leaving it for Jeff Henderson. Ahead of him, taking his first shift, is the Swede, Mark Hansen. Jared Dabrowski taken off the ball there by Victor Sanchez, and now the Mustangs come forward. Here's Efrain Martinez. Martinez against Henderson. Shot off the boards well wide. Hansen trying to get it clear for Herzenberg. Instead, Martinez is there for the Mustangs. 10:10 to go in this third quarter. Mustangs lead down to 6-4. It was 6-3 at halftime. Parasoto for Veiga as the Saints try to put on a little heat as well. Back to Jesus Flores. Hansen up there forward. Flores' pass finds Adrian Ortiz. Ortiz tried to work a 1-2 with Martinez, didn't come off. And now the Saints will go for a change here with 9:45 left. Henderson looking to make the long pass forward for Gary Henderson. All the way back to Jesus Flores. Gary is not related to Jeff and Josh. Josh, the younger of the Henderson brothers, is yet to play here this season. Tangle right there at the halfway line. And Jeff Henderson comes away with it. Leaves it for Sarkoty. Sarkoty plays a ball off the wall to himself. Now finds Blackburn all alone, but his shot is over the top. Gary Henderson holds it into the Chicago zone. Trying to get by Luis Ortega. Ortega fighting off two Saints players. Vega stepping in there as well. Blackburn trying to work it free, and he does for Gary Henderson. Now here's Chris Dabrowski. Jeff Henderson with some space. Lets it fly over the top. So the Saints have hit the glass above the Chicago goal twice here in the space of about 20 seconds, but still down by 2. 8:45 left in the third. Mustangs 6-4 over the Saints. Martinez with a long shot parried away by Chris Black. Efrain Martinez feeling a little ambitious there. Again, he has 2 goals, as does Brian Velasquez for Chicago. Both teams making changes here with 8.5 minutes to go in the third. Victor Sanchez got in the way of that pass. Now Fiore gets it for Herzenberg. And back to Fiore for Michael Diley. Diley, Herzenberg. Herzenberg doubled up, and the bad pass goes to Parasoto. Parasoto up for Victor Sanchez. Sanchez. Fiore gets back. Sanchez looks for support and retreats to Parasoto at the halfway line. Now Miguel Vaca. Vaca with a goal and an assist tonight. Vaca trying to get forward on a pass from Velasquez. Saints get it back in their own box. Blackburn flicks it on ahead for Jared Dabrowski. Back to Diley, and now Chris Black will come forward with 7:40 left in the third. Here's Fiore. Set up both of Kwame Sarkoty's goals in the first quarter, and speaking of which, there's Sarkoty with some space. Lets it fly high and wide. Sarkoty didn't know at first because he had his back to the goal that he had all that space, and the Chicago Mustangs bench players were yelling for somebody to mark him. 7.5 to go in the third. Chicago up 6-4 over Cincinnati. Cincinnati playing much better here in this third quarter. Santillan pressured there by Gary Henderson, and it's a 3-line pass by Santillan. Ball will come back to the Chicago line for a restart. Herzenberg's goal was set up by Blackburn from this spot down at the other end in the second quarter. And now they're going to say that was not a 3-line pass. It was a mistaken whistle, so there'll be a drop ball in front of the Cincinnati bench here. It looked like it was a 3-line pass from here. And instead, sportingly, Jared Dabrowski gives it back to Chicago. Santillan puts that one clearly over the glass. Down there near the Seven Hills Crusaders. 7:17 to go. And the glass is very short on that side, although the top of the glass there on that side is about the same as it is on the boards on the bench side. So that restart will come to the top of the arc as Santillan cleared it out of his defensive zone over the glass. And Santillan very smartly gets up there in front of that restart, not allowing Damian Blackburn to take it quickly. Sarkoty to his right, Herzenberg to his left. Sarkoty down deep, a nice save there by Flores to deny Gary Henderson. Flores has come up with big. He's made solid saves. The only one he's really made that was spectacular was the shot by Jared Dabrowski. They had to leap and parry away with his left hand. Now Sanchez getting forward with Hernandez. Sanchez taken down from behind by Sarkoty, and the foul whistled up. That's the 5th now unofficially on Cincinnati. So one more results in a bench penalty. And the Saints have already killed off one-man advantage tonight. Sarkoty making the recovery run, but he didn't have enough time. He had to slow down Victor Sanchez somehow as he did, because he had Guillermo Hernandez running right down the middle of the field. Sarkody lucky he didn't get the 2-minute penalty like Damian Blackburn did in the first quarter. But this is a danger restart chance here for Chicago. Both teams taking their time a little bit, getting the right personnel out there for this restart. So the Saints defending out there with Kwame Sarkody, Michael Diley, Jeff Henderson, Damian Blackburn. Actually, there will be a penalty on... Oh, they've now said yes, it will be indeed a penalty on Sarkody for a trip. That coming at 8:03. So the Saints playing shorthanded for the second time tonight. Miguel Vaca out there for Sanchez. Or Ortega, I should say. Back to Vaca, now back to Ortega. Saints 2 for 2 this season in penalty killing. 1 last week and 1 here tonight. Ortega. Martinez. That's a tight angle there for Efrain Martinez. Again, he's got 2 goals tonight, 5 in his first 2 games. So he's feeling it, obviously. Here's Miguel Vaca with a goal and an assist tonight. Taken down by Sarkody. I thought Sarkody was called for that tripping penalty. I guess he was. It was Jared Dombrowski that was called. My mistake. So Sarkody now out there in the penalty killing unit. Shot blocked there by Chris Dombrowski. And quickly taking it there is Luis Ortega, who had that shot blocked. Now Efrain Martinez. Ortega. Vaca. Vega to his left. Vega in the corner. Sharp angle shot cleared away by Jeff Henderson. And Vega plays it over the glass, and now gives Cincinnati a chance to check. That was Parisoto. So Cincinnati will have a chance to keep possession and kill off some of this man advantage here. 6:05 to go here in the third. Eddie Herzenberg has gone forward, and Jeff Henderson will try to get it to him in the corner. Off the board glass, and Ortega able to chest it down for Jesus Flores, and playing with a rolled ankle that he hurt in practice yesterday. Miguel Vaca. Martinez to his right instead for Ortega in support. Ortega with a long shot over the top. Parisoto holds it in at the Cincinnati line. Ortega again. Martinez. Inside, the shot is blocked away. Michael Diley got in the way as Guilherme Vega had an open net. All the way back to Jesus Flores as Cincinnati trying to kill off the last few moments of this power play here. I don't know, about 20 seconds left. Vaca gets free. Taking off play to Dombrowski. Shot off the post. He had Chris Black beaten, but it hit the post and came out. That's twice that's happened. Martinez had one like that in the first quarter. And Ortega from long range over the top. So the throw in for Chris Black. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Mustangs up 6-4 over Cincinnati Saints. I'm Keith Kokinda. Glad you could join us here on AmericaOneSports.com, the official internet broadcast partner of the Professional Arena Soccer League. Long ball ahead looking for Damian Blackburn. It went spinning the other way and right to Jesus Flores. Ahead for Velasquez. Velasquez with 2 goals tonight. Finds Adrian Ortiz, but he's taken off the ball briefly there by Chris Dombrowski. Dombrowski fighting in the corner. Velasquez comes free with it. And shot blocked off the line there by Ortiz. Taken by Ortiz, cleared off the line. And Chris Black finally collects it. But Michael Diley once again clearing a ball off the line. And Black with a good pass ahead for Sarkody. Sarkody trying to find Damian Blackburn a little too strong. And Flores, a handball. Flores came out of his box trying to deny Blackburn, but a wonderful ball again by Chris Black finding Kwame Sarkody breaking forward. Notice say it's just a corner kick. It came off Flores' chest apparently. Blackburn triggered this restart. Sarkody over the top. That's 3 times the Saints have hit the glass right above the crossbar in this third quarter as the penalty has now expired. And a steal and a chance here for Adrian Ortiz, but a weak shot right to Chris Black as he bails out Sam Fiore. Fiore with it now as the Saints complete a line change. Jeff Henderson coming on with 3:50 left in the third, and the Saints still down by 2. Here's Sam Fiore. Blackburn ahead of him, and he'll get the pass. Ortiz on him. And now Chris Black will come forward. And now here's Sam Fiore with it once again. Fiore again set up both of Kwame Sarkody's goals in that first quarter. And a loose pass by Blackburn finds Velasquez, but he can't get the ball on target as Chris Black had come forward, almost playing as a third defender back there. Here's Jared Dombrowski with Jeff Henderson. Now Damian Blackburn. Blackburn works free. Blackburn in alone. Blackburn hits the post. Oh, a glorious opportunity goes begging. And here's another loose pass. And again, it's Velasquez getting the way, but Jared Dombrowski recovering well and getting it back for the Saints. Now Gary Henderson. Jeff Henderson making a run to his left. Now here's Jared Dombrowski. Sam Fiore playing in the center of the defense there all the way back to Chris Black with 2:45 left in the third. Saints still trailing by 2. They have the only goal in this quarter. Gary Henderson from Chris Black. And they've also had to kill off a man advantage situation for the Mustangs, but still need a couple more here. In the corner, Sanchez able to win that ball, get it to Aranda. Michael Diley touches it over the wall with 2:25 left in the third. The Saints definitely playing much better and playing a much more even game with this Mustangs team, which really in the last 10 minutes took over and were much quicker on the ball, much quicker off the ball as well, as that last goal showed especially. 2:12 left. Herzenberg, Fiore, Sarkody up ahead to his left. Instead, Fiore will slow it down, but a pass goes right to Efrain Martinez in the center of the field. Martinez bumping with Herzenberg, trying to work it free there for Parisoto. Instead, back to Guilherme Veiga, the Brazilian defender, with 1:50 to go. Parisoto, back to Veiga. They've been paired on defense most of the night tonight. Up the boards. Shot by Sanchez off the boards and off Chris Black's back. Fiore with the ball as the Saints complete a line change here with 1:15 left in the third. Jeff Henderson for Jared Dombrowski. Back to Henderson, now forward for Eddie Herzenberg, who showed in front of Veiga, but couldn't get a good first touch on it. Ortega with a ball forward, but we play on. We still play on after that collision. And here's Damian Blackburn in the corner. Blackburn. And a trip there and a foul whistle up as Herzenberg goes down. Veiga not happy with the decision at all. And if he curses, he better curse in Portuguese. No, they're going to call 2-minute penalty on Veiga. So Veiga is going to get the gate for the trip here in the last minute. 14:07 to be exact. So the first man advantage opportunity for the Saints tonight. They made both they converted both power plays last week. Difficult situation for the Saints. David Aranda, Adrian Ortiz, Omar Santillan, who clears that ball away, and Luis Ortega, the penalty killers for Chicago. Saints trying to cut into a 2-goal deficit. Blackburn in the corner for Herzenberg, shot at the glass. Flores got a left hand on it, cleared over the glass. It'll be a restart right at the top of the arc. And good work there, Brian Pio, getting our video back. Nice job under very quick work there. Blackburn, Herzenberg to his left, Sarkody to his right. Herzenberg, first time shot blocked by Aranda. Herzenberg, Aranda touches away. Santillan will just clear it out, and he gets a break as it goes off the glass. 17 seconds left. Ahead from Black for Sarkody with 2 goals tonight. Gary Henderson, who got the last one for Cincinnati. Henderson, watched there by Ortega. Ortega dispossesses him, Santillan, and then Henderson gets a touch in there, which puts it right back to Jesus Flores, who will hold it to kill off the last couple seconds of the quarter. So Cincinnati get the only goal in the third quarter, but they're still down by 2, and they'll have 1:07 left of man advantage time here as some of these Mustangs players still discussing that last decision to send Guilherme Veiga, the Brazilian, to the penalty box for 2 minutes. Again, the Saints got both of their, scored 2 power play goals and 2 chances last week against Cleveland, and they certainly need this one here to try to draw within 1. Again, the Saints got the only goal in that third quarter. Goal scoring summary brought to you by Admiral Sportswear, the official uniform supplier to the Cincinnati Saints. And again, it was Gary Henderson making a long run forward and a great throw from Chris Black, who got the assist. And Henderson with a wonderful finish off the far post. Jesus Flores came out, cut down the angle, but Henderson found just the right spot and just the right angle of banking it off the post. 2:49 into the third quarter, which broke a run of 4 straight Chicago goals in the second quarter. So now, going into the fourth here, Saints still down by 2. But they will have 1:07 left on this man advantage here, and they will kick off to start the fourth quarter as well. And that can be a problem sometimes. If you're not kicking off and you have a man advantage, teams can kill off 15, 20 seconds at least if they're able to keep possession. Chicago have had 2 power play chances. They didn't score in either one of them, so Cincinnati's still a perfect 3 for 3 now in penalty killing. Trying to maintain that same record on the power play side here, as they will be attacking from bottom to top here in this fourth quarter as you watch on your computer screen. And again, don't forget, tomorrow you can go to the Cincinnati Saints official YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cincinnati Saints. As Angela Bazzoli will have post-game interviews with players and Coach Matt Brynas. You can also catch her weekly game previews there as well. That's the Saints official YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cincinnati Saints. I'm Keith Kokinda. Chris Black returning to goal right in front of you down below. The Mustangs will start this man advantage with David Aranda, Luis Ortega, Omar Santillan, and Victor Sanchez, I believe, is the 4th person out there. Saints with Damian Blackburn there. Now Eddie Herzenberg, Sam Fiore to his left, Kwame Sarkodie out to the right, and Gary Henderson in the penalty box. There's Sarkodie, who had the first 2 Saints goals tonight. In the corner for Gary Henderson, who had the last one. Sarkodie, Fiore, who set up both of Sarkodie's goals. Here's Blackburn, Sarkodie. Across for Henderson, who couldn't get the header down. Well, you don't see those too often in indoor soccer. It was a great chance, a great ball by Sarkodie to set up Gary Henderson, but it was just a touch too tall. Fiore steps in the way. Down to 27 seconds left this match advantage. Fiore, Blackburn looking for space. Shot gets deflected, and the rebound is cleared away after a good save by Flores. Omar Santillan got in the way. Here's Blackburn as the Seven Hills Crusaders get the drums going to try to drum up some noise here at Tri-County Soccerplex. Santillan blocks it off the ceiling netting, and that'll go to the Chicago line for the restart. Efrain Martinez comes out as the penalty now has expired. So the Saints missed their first power play of the season. A header again. Fiore couldn't get it on goal, and Jesus Flores gets there for the Mustangs. Long ball into the corner down here near us. Jeff Henderson defending, and Sanchez's passes off the, Henderson touched it last off the ceiling netting, so this restart goes back to the Cincinnati line. 13-17 to go here in this fourth quarter. And Martinez wanted the ball at the top of the arc, but no, it hit the ceiling netting. And Sanchez well over the top. He's done that a couple times tonight. 13 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Saints still down 6-4. Here's Jeff Henderson. Martinez up on him. Black. Chris Dabrowski to his right gets the pass. Damian Blackburn also out there. Pass forward by Dabrowski is taken away by Vega. Vega dispossessed by Gary Henderson. Damian Blackburn ahead of him and gets the ball. Blackburn. Jared Dabrowski making a run forward on the left side. Instead, it's Dabrowski and Blackburn here. Now here's Dabrowski. Dabrowski, not related. His names are spelled differently. Jeff Henderson lifts into the box. Chested down. A shot by Jared Dabrowski is blocked. I think he might have wanted to take that one first time. 12:15 to go in regulation. Ball ahead for Sanchez, who leaves it for Martinez. Henderson on him. Martinez looking for space. Henderson dispossesses him briefly. Chris Dabrowski comes away with it. Blackburn to his right. Good ball forward for Blackburn, but a little too strong. And Guilherme Vega gets there as the Saints finish a line change. 11:55 left in regulation. Vega and now Parasoto. Parasoto forward for Vaca. Vaca tries to bring it down. Jared Dabrowski got there to break that play up. Now here's Mark Hansen. Hansen with a sweet little move to get around Martinez. Take out the ball. Here's Jeff Henderson. He couldn't get the left foot on it in time. It came to him too fast. Martinez quickly ahead for Vaca. Vaca, not a good first touch. Sarkoty gets back on him. Miguel Vaca. Sarkoty touches it away for Herzenberg. Hansen making a run forward, but Herzenberg couldn't get control of the ball. Has back to him. Now looking to go forward. Saints will finish a change here as Herzenberg will slow it down with 11:10 to go in regulation. Sarkoty. Michael Diley off the bench. Saints still down 6-4 Chicago Mustangs. Trying to make it back-to-back home wins to open the season are the Saints. But they've got some work to do here. Blackburn trying to hold off his marker. Can't keep the possession of the ball. And then Blackburn thought he committed a foul, but they got away with it. But now the Mustangs coming the other way. Here's Brian Velasquez with 2 goals tonight on a pass from Sandoval. Herzenberg got in the way of that clearance. Fiore goes down, and he bought the foul call there. Admittedly, Fiore went down a little easily there, but he did get the foul call. Unofficially 5 now on Chicago with 10:25 left in regulation. Diley for Black. With Diley and Fiore, the defense pairing right now. Sarkoty going forward. Long ball ahead. Trying to find Blackburn. He gets it to Sarkoty. Sarkoty goes down, and that might be 6. No, that's not 6. Either way, 10 minutes left, and the Saints have a great restart chance here. Herzenberg and Blackburn out there along with Fiore, Sarkoty, and Gary Henderson. Gary Henderson in the right and the corner, making the run into the box, and Blackburn puts it right into the wall, but gets it back to Herzenberg. 9:40 left in regulation. Herzenberg shot deflected, and a great leaping left-hand save by Jesus Flores. That ball came off Ortega and had a lot of spin on it, but Flores, for the second time tonight, comes up with a leaping left-hand save. Now Velasquez getting the return pass. Too strong. Sarkoty has it for the Saints. 9:19 left in regulation. Dabrowski for Herzenberg. 9:10 left. Saints still down 6-4. Gary Henderson for Eddie Herzenberg. Jared Dabrowski there in support, and the ball will instead go all the way back to Chris Black, who's almost playing a de facto 6th attacker right now. He's up there closer to his halfway line than it is his own line. Blackburn. Herzenberg. All the way back for Jeff Henderson at the halfway line with 8:45 to go in regulation. Here's Blackburn. Dabrowski making the run to his right, taking off the ball by Sandoval, who dispossesses him. Can't get it clear. Held in by Dabrowski. Second chance. Blackburn can't keep it. Blackburn commits the foul there with 8:28 to go in regulation. And you have to start wondering, when does Matt Bryant call timeout and go to the extra attacker if this scoreline holds? You'd love to get at least one more if you're Matt Bryant. You don't like to go to an extra attacker when you got more than 2 goals down. Now, a great run into the box by Ortega, but he can't get the shot away, and he takes an unceremonious fall to the turf courtesy of Jeff Henderson. Under 8 minutes left in regulation. Flores up Route 1. Sanchez there first. Sanchez with some space. Fiore comes off the bench and takes him off the ball, but loses it, and Sanchez called for the foul, and the Chicago people, again, not happy. They feel like they've been on the wrong end of most of the decisions here tonight. Diley with 7.5 minutes left. A great ball on the back by Sam Fiore. Diley looking for the return pass, doesn't get it. Instead, back to Blackburn from Herzenberg. Blackburn lets it fly just over the top, and the Mustangs content to bang it back to the Cincinnati zone where Black is there and gets it to Fiore, and we have Damian Blackburn down at the Chicago line as he took a tumble there. And Blackburn with a goal last night, or last week, I should say. And he is the Saints' all-time leading scorer. Blackburn getting up on his hands and knees as the physio comes to check him out. Not sure how he fell or why, but he's favoring the right leg a little bit. And he's definitely not running freely right now. You didn't see how he went down, so I'm not sure if he turned it wrong or if he landed on it wrong. Either way, he's probably going to miss at least a shift, maybe more, as the Mustangs will sportingly give it back to Chris Black. Nice job, Omar Santillan. Here's Fiore, who's been playing more in the back here in this second half, especially Sarkody. Sarkody ahead for Eddie Herzenberg. Herzenberg with a goal tonight, but Victor Sanchez gets it there to Efrain Martinez. Martinez fights with Sarkody for the ball. Sarkody punched it forward, but instead it's David Aranda who has to go back to Jesus Flores, and a good clearance by the goalkeeper. Martinez. Whistle and 2 minutes. The blue card comes in, and I believe it's going to go against Chicago. .8:30 is the time of the penalty. Not sure who got the gate for that, but either way, it's a man advantage for the Saints, who desperately need this power play goal right now. Damian Blackburn, Sam Fiore, Gary Henderson, Eddie Herzenberg, and Jared Dombrowski, the man advantage unit here for Cincinnati. It's Jared Dombrowski with a shot, and it's blocked away there by Adrian Ortiz. Ortiz is out there with Aranda, Santillan, and Luis Ortega, penalty killers for the Mustangs. Here's Herzenberg in the box. He had a power play goal last week against Cleveland. Here's Jared Dombrowski with a long shot through the box. And now a whistle and a foul there, and a scrap develops here quickly. The officials get in there, and Eddie Herzenberg got in there to separate Gary Henderson. He got into a tangle with one of the Chicago players. The foul was whistled up against Chicago. So a great restart opportunity coming here, and a blue card has been shown once again here. And it looks like it's, I'm not sure who it's going against right now. I'm thinking it might be Gary Henderson for retaliating. Of course, the officials always catch the retaliation. And the clock has finally stopped with 5:05 left in the regulation. They're sorting things out here. A blue card was shown. Just right now, not sure who it was shown against. In Cincinnati playing up a man. They have about a minute and a half left on that man advantage. I should say about 30 seconds left on that man advantage. I take it back. And it is going to go against Chicago, it looks like. Although I still see 4 Chicago players out there, 4 outfield players for Chicago. And I believe it's going to be, if it is against Chicago, it looks like it's Victor Sanchez. Or no, I take it back. It's going to be Luis Ortega. So a 2-man advantage for the Saints for about 25 seconds. And boy, if the Saints don't get a goal out of this, that may be done and dusted as far as this game is concerned. But now Ortega gets the gate here for a penalty as well. So 2-man advantage here for the Saints for about 25 seconds. Herzenberg on the restart. Flores got a piece of that one to deny it. Here's Blackburn. Blackburn forward quickly. Gonna let it fly, and he scores the power play goal. Damian Blackburn. What a finish. And a timeout called by Chicago. 10:04 the time of the goal. But just what the Saints did, they got the power play goal, and they got it quickly, so that ends the first penalty. So now Cincinnati still have about another minute 45 with a man advantage. Now the Saints have fought back to within one. So Damian Blackburn makes it 2 goals in as many games, and now Damian Blackburn will put on the orange shirt and become the extra attacker. So the Saints are going to go with the 6v4 setup here. So Damian Blackburn gets a power play goal to draw the Saints within one, and now he'll put on the orange shirt and play extra attacker here for the at least probably the remainder of this man advantage, which has about a minute 45 to run. It'll be David Aranda, Adrian Ortiz, Omar Santillan, and Josiah Sandoval to kill this penalty off. Meanwhile, Sam Fiore, Michael Diley, Gary Henderson, Eddie Herzenberg, and Jared Dombrowski out there for the man advantage. And again, it's Damian Blackburn in goal as the extra attacker. So Blackburn gets the power play goal to get the Saints within one. Now they look to get the power play goal that'll equalize. Blackburn down the corner, a header across the face of goal by Eddie Herzenberg. Oh, a glorious chance. And we've seen twice that a player's been set up for a great header on the post and can't get it down. Gary Henderson had one earlier. Blackburn, Fiore, Herzenberg to his left. And there is Herzenberg, who just missed on that header. Blackburn thought about having a go. Instead, it'll go across to Gary Henderson. Now Blackburn, Herzenberg, Fiore down low. Herzenberg lining it up. Back to Fiore. Gets it through the box. And Gary Henderson can't get a touch. Diley holds it in deep. Diley fighting there with Adrian Ortiz for the ball. Comes free to Jared Dombrowski. His shot blocked. Santillan clears it only as far as Herzenberg. 3:40 left in regulation. Saints still have the man advantage, down 6-5. And the extra attacker is on. Diley for Damian Blackburn. He's the extra attacker in orange there. 3.5 to go in regulation. Fiore, Blackburn, Dombrowski, ball into the box, blocked and cleared away. And getting there first, though, will be Herzenberg, just outrunning David Aranda. Now Gary Henderson and Herzenberg bring the ball out of the back. Blackburn trails them, and Blackburn will move left. Blackburn going all the way in the corner. He's the extra attacker. Shot is blocked off the line, and a rebound is blocked again. Third chance, Gary Henderson saved by Flores. The penalty is over. Martinez off the bench. Herzenberg got there first. Herzenberg for Fiore. Teams playing 5-a-side, but Damian Blackburn is the extra attacker for Cincinnati with 2:45 left in regulation, and the Saints trailing 6-5 against the Chicago Mustangs. I'm Keith Kokinda in for a great finish here for the PASL second week on AmericaOneSports.com. And there's the finish by Efrain Martinez. Second straight hat trick for him. That might be the sealer. Unofficially 12:30, the time of the goal. So Efrain Martinez for the second straight weekend gets a hat trick. And the Saints are going to try to call a timeout here as Armando Garboa, the co-coach of the Mustangs, is now out on the field as the officials will try to settle things down here a little bit. Clock now shows 2:01. But the Saints now trail 7-5. Well, they got the one power play goal. And somebody's been shown a yellow card, just not sure who. If the Saints were down by as many as 6-3 at halftime, they fought back to get within 6-5. They got 1 out of 2 on that last power play, which included a 2-man advantage, and that's what they scored on. And I believe Vega was shown the caution there for the Mustangs. So Miguel Vega now playing with a yellow card as we're down to the last 2 minutes of regulation. Damian Blackburn still in there as the extra attacker. Chris Dabrowski across from Michael Diley. Now in the corner, it's Gary Henderson battling with Omar Santillan. Henderson fights in the corner. Ball worked free and a foul called against Chicago. Minute 45 in regulation. The Saints down by 2. Fiore to trigger this restart. Chris Dabrowski will get the pass. Dabrowski's shot is blocked, and the Mustangs trying to get it clear, and they finally do, but they put it into the ceiling netting. That brings it to the it's a white line. It's not a red line like it used to be, but it's right at the Chicago zone as opposed to a ball going over the glass, which would go to the arc. And in front, Santillan with a little flick blocked out of the way, and a goal by Sam Fiore. And now the Saints have to hustle back, get that ball down, so Fiore gets the goal for the Saints. This is like outdoors now with this running clock. You got to get that ball back to the center in a hurry. So Sam Fiore now with a goal and 2 assists. And the Saints are back within 1, 7-6. Damian Blackburn still the extra attacker. Here's Luis Ortega. Ortega fighting with Fiore. And Fiore called for the foul with 53 seconds left. Martinez puts it in play. Not sure he wanted to at first, but Ortega trying to fight his way up the boards and kill off the last 40 seconds. Martinez for Santillan. Efrain Martinez with 3 goals tonight. Second straight week he's done that. Martinez lets fly with a left footer. It's blocked by Jeff Henderson. Here comes Gary Henderson the other way. Fiore to his right. Whistle and a great sliding shot. No, they're going to say it's a 2-minute penalty, but that's kind of irrelevant now. Well, no, they did stop the clock. Now the clock finally got stopped, so another 2-minute penalty against the Mustangs gives the Saints another man advantage opportunity here with 16 and 8/10 seconds left. So it's again 6-on-4 here as Damian Blackburn, the extra attacker for the Saints. There's a shot off the head and out of play by Jared Dombrowski. 8 seconds. Fiore's got to hurry. Jared Dombrowski lets it fly. Blocked again. And now he clears it over the glass, and that will do it. So a wild game, a furious rally by the Saints, getting 3 second-half goals, but it wasn't enough as the Chicago Mustangs win 7-6 to hand the Saints their first loss of the season. Well, you have to say it got away from the Saints in that second quarter when the Mustangs scored 4 goals in the last 10 minutes of that second quarter. The Saints sure rallied, and it was a tough team. This is going to be a tough team, this Mustangs team. They're very young, very quick, very athletic, and very good with the ball at their feet. The Saints, though, for the most part, proved they were equal to the task. And again, the rally in the fourth quarter, getting a couple of goals in the last 5 minutes, comes up just 1 short. So again, for all information on the Professional Arena Soccer League, go to the official website of the PASL, PASLsoccer.com. as the Chicago Mustangs players salute their supporters who made the trip here, as do the Saints for their supporters. Again, Saints back in action in Cleveland next week. Sean Bartzak on AmericaOneSports.com will have that one for you as the Saints and the Freeze go back at it in North Olmsted. And again, the Saints will return home 2 weeks from tonight against the Illinois Piasaw here at Tri-County Soccerplex. For all Cincinnati Saints team information, go to the official website of the Saints, CincinnatiSaints.com. Also be sure to like them on Facebook at Facebook.com/Cincinnati Saints. And also follow the club on Twitter. That's Twitter.com/Cincinnati Saints. And again, tomorrow, go to the YouTube channel, YouTube.com/Cincinnati Saints. Angela Betzoli will have the post-game interviews with a couple of players as well as Coach Matt Brynas. And later on in the week, we'll have her preview of the Saints' return to Cleveland for the game against the Freeze next week. On behalf of everybody in the Saints organization, I'm Keith Kokindo. Against final score, Chicago Mustangs winners over the Cincinnati Saints 7-6. Good night from Tri-County Soccerplex in Cincinnati.